Good day. I'm Mr. D, your lecturer in Introduction to Computing. In today's session, we'll be looking at Microsoft Excel. I assume that you'll also be working in Excel 2010. What I'm going to demonstrate in this lecture, a number of concepts such as relative referencing, absolute referencing, the use of an absolute reference with a relative reference in a mixed formula. I'll also show you how to use the fill handle and the sum and average functions. I'll also demonstrate how we can create a simple chart in Microsoft Excel using the data presented. I'll start off by creating my column headings. In this case, I'm going to use a list of products. I'll call this product name. Then for these products, I'm going to have the cost price. Then I'll have the selling price of the product. Let me have my first product, jam, butter, apples, ginger, garlic, margarine, right? Margarine. Let me have another product. I will call this, what can I call it? Coke. Not that I take Coca-Cola. Okay. Right. Let's put some prices to these products. Jam generally cost, I'm just looking at standard fruit jam, say 25 Namibian dollars. Butter, average price, $30. Apples, average price, say $40. Garlic, slightly costly, $60. Okay, I've butter, margarine. Let me change this to ginger. Okay, ginger, I'm going to pay like 45 Namibian dollar for my ginger. My 2-liter Coca-Cola for the day, $18. So what I need is to find the gross amount. I need to find sales tax. Not find, but actually the sales tax is given as a constant. Then I need to find what the total payable is. Total payable, that's what I would like to call it rather than selling amount, assuming that this is the total payable at the point of sale. The first thing I'm going to do is to calculate the gross amount before tax. And to do this, I'm going to use a function. How do I use a function? I'll use a sum function starting with the equal sign. Then by clicking in cell B2, the sum function, it's actually equals to sum. This list pops up, then I double click on the sum. Then it's asking me for a cell range from the first number to some number n. My first number is in cell B2, and that's what I'm going to click. To separate the cell ranges, I'll press Shift and then colon, and then I need to press the Shift key, arrow down key, not mouse, but arrow down key, until I get to cell B7. Okay, so I clicked, let me do that again. It's equals to sum, this list comes up, double click, Then click the relative reference where the first number is. The relative reference is B2, right? Then press the shift key, then colon, and then shift key again to select the cell ranges up to B7. I hope you've taken note of that. And then close the bracket, press the enter key. This gives me a gross amount of $218. The sum function is also found here, where you can use the auto sum. We normally call it in mathematics the summation sign. So I can highlight similarly my cell range and click on the summation sign. And look here, the sum function is applied, and the range from B2 to B7, over which I need to calculate the sum amount. The total payable, in this case, I will apply an ordinary formula. But before I can do that, I need to find the sales tax chargeable. Okay, how do I find the sales tax chargeable? Is equals to that amount, not amount really, but that figure 0.15 or 15% multiplied by 218, and the sales tax chargeable is $32.70. The total payable, I'll use an ordinary formula to calculate the total payable. In this case, I'll click on the gross amount, right, equals to first, then gross amount, then plus sign, click on my tax, and there we are. We have the total payable at the point of sale of $250.70. Now, assuming that I want to calculate the individual tax on each of these items, let me insert a column. To insert a column from the keyboard, I'll press the Alt key, I, and C on the keyboard. This is a shortcut for pressing or for inserting a column. I'll call this tax chargeable, right? How am I going to calculate the tax chargeable? I'll start first on, say, GEM. I'll start with the equal sign. The rate of tax is actually contained in this cell, which is B10. Then I'll press, because I want this tax to apply to all cost prices, therefore my sales tax is going to be used as an absolute reference. So in this case, I'll press F4 on the keyboard. Please note that this has changed from B10 to $B, $10. Then I'll multiply by my cost of GEM. This is the tax chargeable, $3.75. Now I want to use the fill handle to populate or to copy the formula in the remaining cells, right? So I can actually put my cursor in the corner until I get that plus sign, the black one, which you can see there on the right. Double click. Okay, the tax is calculated automatically. But where did I double click? I'll demonstrate the process again. Click in the cell until I get a little black arrow. So my left mouse button, I double click to use the fill handle using the left mouse button, right? And I want the tax chargeable also to be added up. What is the total tax payable? And also I want to know what I'm going to pay at the point of sale. I'll demonstrate how that can be done. Right, the total payable first is what we need to calculate, and this is equals to, we'll use again the sum function. Sum function, what we want to add, the value in cell B2 up to the value in cell C2, press enter. This is what is payable at the end of the day. 28.75, assuming that I was only buying jam. But I'm not only buying jam, I'm buying other products. So this is the cost of each product with the individual tax factored in. Right? Let's see what happens if I drag this formula across the other cells. It is actually replicated. Please notice I'll just highlight this in yellow. My total tax chargeable is $32.70, which is similar to the original tax that I had calculated in this formula. And my selling price, similarly, I'll use a different color, maybe a green, is $250.70, which is also similar to the total payable I had calculated originally. So I've used a sum function. I have used a field handler to populate these cells. Then I have used in combination a relative reference together with an absolute reference to apply in a mixed. Okay. Now the next thing I need to show you is, assuming I was interested in the average tax amount payable, average tax payable. If I was interested in the average tax payable, simply I'll use the average function. So it is equals to, you type average. You see, the moment I type AVE, this list populates automatically. So I double click on average, and I can also choose the range of cells over which I need to compute the average. So if I click in the cell, shift key, arrow down until I get to the Coke. Yes, Coke is in the last cell, row 7. Then close bracket, press enter. This is my average price, average tax actually, average tax payable, right? And I can also calculate the average I'm going to pay for each product. This is the average price which I can pay. So I've used the average function, I've used the sum function in my demonstration. Assuming that I want to plot a 2D graph, how would I do this? Place my cursor in cell A1, then using my arrow keys, select, with the shift key pressed down, select the range of cells that I need to plot the graph for. This is my formula bar, so I'll go to insert, and within the ribbon you'll see a number of options for creating graphs. We generally use the pivot chart to summarize data. Then you have the recommended charts as an option. I'm going to click rather, then I'll click all charts. Please notice that as I click on each type of chart, it is showing me how the chart will look like as a line graph, originally as a column graph, as a line graph, as a bar graph, as a radar chart. I'm going to demonstrate using a column chart, and I'll select the first, double click the first chart, and this is my column chart, right? I'll just arrow down so that it is more visible. So I've actually plotted the cost price of jam, butter, apples, garlic, ginger, and Coke using a 2D column chart. I could be interested in looking at the values because they could be problematic in trying to read them off the graph there. I'll add what I call data labels. See? And these data labels actually match the values in the original table. Jam 25, butter 30, arrow down, butter 30, apples 40, and so forth. Simple graph. So using the same data set, I would like you to create different charts. I would like you to create the pie chart and line graph and share with me rather on our C5 ICO 1102 WhatsApp group how best you can create those different charts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking time to listen to me. Goodbye.